From Washington to Hollywood and right back to Wisconsin. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Connecting the dots on the stories shaping our world with smart takes, sharp humor, and plenty of personality.
You know, I really expected more professional behavior from you.
It's news and culture without the noise.
Yeah, I'm on!
Here's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Dude!
Welcome to Nite Lite, everybody. We are live on this Wednesday night. Wednesday evening, Greg. It's an evening. It's not, I mean, it's Nite Lite, but it's still evening, kind of.
I feel like it's still light out, so I almost feel like we're at the point. Well, we're almost to daylight savings time this weekend. Do not give me your opinions on it. I do not care. But we're well, you know, people are always like, we shouldn't have. It's like, oh, just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go.
Deal with it.
It's coming this Sunday. Spring ahead. You quote lose an hour of sleep. You'll be fine. But you know that means that 5 o'clock will be the afternoon.
Correct. It's more like afternoon tea with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. But we'll make it work either way. It's great to have you here. I'm here for it. Yeah, you and I are here regardless, right? I mean,
so is Dom.
I'm here. I'm
Dom
ready
Lee,
to go.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Dom is our resident Italian expert. He's learned all about his people from Jimmy John's. We established that last night. Let that sink in. See what I just did there? I called two callbacks from previous shows.
And folks, you may be sitting there going, wait a minute, I don't understand what they're talking about. We got you covered. So if you go to civicmedia.us/shows, look for Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach, you can download yesterday's episode and listen to it whenever, wherever you want.
Whatever tickles your fancy. We have a great show tonight. I am Pete Schwaba. That is Greg Bach, and Dom Lee is working the board. And we've got two outstanding guests tonight. We've got August Lamb, a writer who is a anti-tech activist. And I have to tell you, Greg, on paper, I already love what she does. This is such a great thing. At heart, I want to be an anti-tech activist. I'm pretty much married to tech. But I think mostly I would like to just find a happy medium, put my phone down for long stretches. But I really admire what she's done in her writing. She's a really good writer. She also does visuals. She's just really a fascinating guest tonight. Yeah.
And then in the second hour, we're going to be speaking to, I believe it's a friend of yours, right?
Well, she's been a guest several times on the show before. Yeah, Susan Kearns, executive director of Milwaukee Film.
Nice.
So, that'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot going on there. Are you familiar with Milwaukee Film, Greg? Like, do you get up and go to movies at the Oriental and see what all the programs they have?
I do. I've gone to the Milwaukee Film Festival a few times. I know I do love it. I have a friend of mine who had a showing at the film festival a couple of years ago. So I am not as adept at it as I would like, but every time I go to the Milwaukee Film Festival, I thoroughly enjoy myself.
They are a well-oiled machine. They've got two great theaters. They've got a great board, great staff, and they have outstanding programs. And Susan is always very fun and informative when she comes on the show. So she'll join us in hour number 2 at 6:20, as Greg mentioned, and we'll be off to the races. You know what I've been doing, Greg? I'm trying to settle into a new routine here since we've got the show. It's done at 7 now instead of 8 like it used to be. So now I find myself I have more time at night. So I've been catching up on the Oscar movies. I've got 3 to go. Are you into that? Do you watch those movies and try to stay up to date on things like that?
I try to. This weekend, I am going to be watching at least 2 of them. just because I want to watch them, and I'm going to probably watch a little bit of the Oscars, but depending on when I go to bed. I'm still, honestly, I'm getting used to being able to go to bed later. Before this, I was always going to bed at like 8:30. Now I'm like, I should stay up until 9:30, and
wow.
Yeah.
I haven't been to bed that early probably since I was 9. That is impressive. You know what? It's weird because I'm a night guy, but I'm also a morning guy. I love the morning, but every job I've ever had just kind of lends itself to being a bit of a night owl, I guess.
I mean, I can be a night owl if I really want to, but I enjoy going to bed earlier, but now I go to bed a little too early. So it's about finding, again, that happy medium of where you're at. And this weekend, I'll probably watch some of the Oscars. I'm going to watch some of the movies, but I don't generally try to watch all of them, but I always check and see who the winners are.
Yeah. What about Dom? I saw you shaking your head. Are you
Not big. I shook my head more so. I'm the same as Greg. I went to sleep around 8:30, and now, as of recent, much later.
Wow.
But in terms of the Oscars, not really. I'm not super. I don't really stay up to watch it. I don't.
I mean, Conan's hosting this year, so I'm going to watch. I mean, he's
a great host.
Yeah, he is. He is designed for the Oscars, specifically the Oscars. I don't think Conan would be as funny hosting the Grammys or the Golden Globes. I think the Oscars are fake and dumb enough that Conan's humor perfectly works, where he makes fun of it perfectly more than anyone else could.
I agree with you. I thought Ricky Gervais, when he hosts, was a little bit like, hey, man, why'd you even take this gig? Like, movies are amazing. Just shut up and tell your jokes. Whereas Conan, and I like Ricky Gervais. I think he's hilarious. But like Conan, it does just enough with still kind of saying, hey, movies are great. We're all here to have a good time. I don't take any of the award shows too seriously, but I do like to watch them.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So we've established that. That'll be fun.
Yes.
I think it's time, Greg, if you don't mind, we need to get to our Nite Lite question of the night.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question. Questions.
Okay, if you could ask God a question, what would it be? And I stole this from Wise Brother Media. I saw it on something I read, and I rephrased it because that was a little vague. But if you could ask God a question, what would it be? Let us know. We'll be having fun with this all night. 855-752-4842, 855-75-Civic. You can also text us on the app, or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or what Greg likes to call Twitter still. And I'm with you there, buddy. Drop us a stream comment. It's always more fun when you guys participate.
I just really love last night was what was your favorite cold cut? Tonight, what would you ask God?
That's the beauty of the question of the night, pal. That's what we do here, right? I mean, we have a little fun with it, and tomorrow it'll be what is your favorite periodic table chemical? So you gotta stay on your toes.
Argon.
Iron. I have a couple answers for that. I'm going to save them for right now. But Dom, give us a teaser. Did you think of that at all? That question?
I didn't. But
well, thanks for doing your homework. All right.
Well, it would be a cold cut. Maybe it would be a cold cut.
Dear God, what is the greatest cold cut of all time? Love, Dominic's. P.S. My apologies for the accent.
Yep.
He apologizes. God, does a pimento have any place in it?
Dearest Lord, why is it called a pimento loaf?
You can mix and match questions. That's the beauty of the question of the night, I think. So be part of the show, folks. Let us know. But, what do you say, Greg? Should we get to our three big things?
Let's get to the three big things.
Why not?
The first big story.
I like it.
So, Pete, big news out of Milwaukee Common Council. And the story the story I just had is gone now. Hold on, it's here. I think it's right here. Yes. According to the Common Council, the Milwaukee police are banning officers from masking their identities amid ICE concerns. I think this is a very good thing. I don't know about both of you, but I think it's important that those who enforce the law are not masks, and I should be able to know who is approaching me. Simple, right?
Absolutely. This is that masking thing is so wrong on every level with the federal agents and ICE. And I applaud Milwaukee for this because, remember when like cops used to walk the beat and get to know their neighbors and it's like they're part of the community. They're here to serve and protect. This is not, wearing the masks. And here's what I also don't get with ICE. You got masks on and then you got all this armor and then you got Dockers or blue jeans. Like what is going, it's just, none of it makes sense. So I love that Milwaukee did this. They also want ICE agents not to wear masks when they're in Milwaukee. I don't know if they'll have any success enforcing that, but I love this. And I think, police officers in cities like this are part of the community. And I like that we can see their faces and know their identities.
Yeah, it said here in the story, this is coming out of the Wisconsin Examiner. Andrew Kennard has the byline on this one. It said, referring to what you spoke to, Pete, last month, officials announced a package of local ordinance proposals that aim to prepare the city for a possible surge in ICE operations. The package included a requirement for all ICE agents to be unmasked when interacting with the public. And I'm trying to see here. That came out. That was put out last month, and it looks like it says that they were proposed. They can be challenged in court, but I mean it just makes sense in my opinion. I don't know, like I don't know why, like the whole thing of like, well, they can get doxxed. Well, anyone could get doxxed, but I mean if they're just doing their job, they should have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm like, how even if you are, regardless of which side of the aisle you were on, I don't understand how you can be in favor of masks. And if you're doing your job to the best of your abilities and you're not mistreating people and you're following the law, you should have absolutely nothing to worry about. I mean, ICE agents were around previously too, and it's just it doesn't make any sense to me. But I like this move by Milwaukee, kind of being proactive or preemptive, saying we know you're probably coming. This is what we expect, And let me ask you this, Greg. Do you ever see a standoff between local police and ICE with the different theories there regarding the masks or how people are treated?
I mean, I haven't seen the police say anything about the ICE officers. And as far as I know, police officers are never, I don't know about police wearing masks other than maybe say SWAT teams, but I've never seen confrontations between the two. Also, they can pass all the ordinances they want in Milwaukee. That doesn't mean that the ICE agents will have to listen, because if they have DHS behind them, they can be like, do whatever you want. And I don't know then, do the police get to arrest them? Do the police say, no, pull your mask down? There is an ordinance and we are here, the law and order of Milwaukee. You will abide. We'll see.
I love that. It would be interesting to see that. And I can't see something like that. Like if it came to that and there were ICE agents and police officers, I don't think it would escalate to the point of violence or anything, but it would be an interesting little standoff,
Yeah. Before we have Annie from Watertown on the phone. She has some thoughts on staying up late to watch the Oscars. Annie, good evening. How are you tonight?
Fine. Two different things. I stayed up to watch the Oscars when I was at my uncle's in Italy, in Pisa, and I had to stay up, till 3 a.m., which was like 8 o'clock here, to watch the Oscars. And the lady that I bought gloves from the next day in Florence, she had stayed up too. It was funny to talk, so people around the world do stay up. But I also that spring lost an hour to daylight savings time over there, and then I flew home and I lost another hour due to daylight savings time. And I just wonder when I'll ever get that hour back.
You won't, Annie. Move on. Seek the future. The future's ahead of you, Annie, not in the past. Thank you so much for calling, Annie.
Travel backwards, I think, Annie, to get those hours back. That's awesome. I love Annie from Watertown.
Unless you invent time travel, then call me. I'd love to invest.
Do you, Greg, Dave Attell, the comedian?
Yeah, of course.
One of my favorite jokes of his is when he went to Australia to do stand-up, he was the day ahead. When he called his apartment to get his messages, he answered the phone. Dave, what the heck?
All right. Well, when we come back after the break, we are going to go through our next big stories. 2 more to go, and then we'll be talking to August Lamb, who is an anti-tech advocate or activist here on the show. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close. All right.
All right. Gonna have to use the other fader again.
Brett says, wow, I'm back, and now Greg is part of the night team? Cool. I'm a fan already. We should read that right away.
Ooh,
Boom, Brett. I hope.
very nice.
If I could.
He's already wait, was he Brett, if you can hear the I'll ask on the radio. I don't know if he's listening on the radio or if he's listening on the live stream.
He's on the text line, but yeah, he was a regular texter. He's a great texter, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't ask him. He's got a good answer, too, for the question of the night.
So we are waiting for August. We'll be calling as well.
At 5:30.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Wow. Totally didn't think it was 5:20.
Is that her on the line right now?
I don't know. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything.
Hold on. Let me check something here really quick. No, according to this, August is coming on now.
Okay. All
According to
right.
the calendar. What?
Huh? That's not.
Wait. Now it says, wait a second. It says join between 5:30 and 5:35. And but it says it's at 5:20.
No, not on my sheet. It says 5:33 to 5:48. I don't know why it says 5:33, but
Okay. Well, I got to come back in 7 seconds.
is she already on the line?
I don't know.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. You've got the Civic Media Radio Network. Dom Lee working the board. We have August Lamb, a writer who is an anti-tech activist, coming up after the news. That's going to be fun. I'm envious of her positions and very curious to talk with her. That's coming up just after news, sports, and weather. Right now, Greg and I are discussing 3 pretty important stories, Greg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to miss these.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at the big important stories.
I didn't mean to like a sarcastic laugh. I'm saying I'm trying to sell it like, I mean, this next story comes to us from Texas, so it kind of affects us, but a big win last night for James Tallarico.
Indeed. Can we get the sounder?
Oh, yeah. The second big story.
There it is. It's not official until there we go.
He didn't officially win until.
Well, he won the primary. He won the Texas primary for Senate, and he beat Jasmine Crockett in the primary vote amongst Democrats, winning by over almost 200,000 votes, according to this here, won by 52.5%, beating out sitting Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. The Republicans not doing as great and having a lower turnout for their Republican primary. On top of that, it's not a clear winner because in Texas, it's going to have a runoff because the top 2 people did not secure more than 50% of the vote. So they will be going to a runoff to see who will be winning that. And it's between John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. And then we will find out who James Tallarico will be taking on in the fall.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I have a question, Greg, for you. I follow politics pretty well. But the fact that when you have like hardcore Christians, they typically align right.
Mm-hmm.
James Tallarico is he's, I think, a man of the cloth, and he speaks a lot of New Testament stuff and teachings of Jesus. Where has this guy been in the Democratic Party for the last 20 or 30 years?
Well, I mean, he's been. I mean, that's the thing is
not
he's
him
very
specifically, but you know what I'm saying. Like, where are the Democrats' religious side coming out? You know,
they've been there this whole time. They just don't get as much attention. That's the thing. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, there's I know plenty of Democrats who are Christian, and
sure,
but I think that it's when he's on a lot of videos on my phone, I scroll through and I see him a great deal of time. I enjoy him, but it's because they're making him the story. They're making him I mean, he is not a unique creature in Texas. There are plenty of Democrats who are Christians. It's just he is already he's a state rep. He has got a good message. He doesn't get into big shouting matches. He simply addresses the conversation. He does it in a very mindful, very respectful tone. And apparently that's weird enough that people want to hear from him. Like he's not the norm. And that's the weird part.
That is a great point. Like, it's come back around. Usually it's the loudest, the squeaky wheel, so to speak. And if you're not angry enough, you don't get the attention from the media or social media or whatever. Yeah. This guy is measured. And he speaks his mind, and he takes his time. He reminds me a little bit of Obama. He gathers his thoughts before he talks, and he's thoughtful. And it'll be interesting if he ends up running against Paxton, because Paxton kind of is the opposite. He's more of a fire and brimstone kind of guy. He's
the attorney general of Texas right now. And John Cornyn is a sitting senator who I believe is retiring. Oh, no, he's not. He's running for Senate. What is John Cornyn? He is. Keep talking, Pete.
James Tallarico. No, he. Here's what's interesting. Tallarico, when it comes to fundraising, has raised $20 million since September, and Jasmine Crockett only 3.7. Yeah. So there was a huge discrepancy. So does that translate to just a 2.5 point win? I don't know. I mean, I think they're both popular within the Democratic Party. So
so John Cornyn is the current. He's running for re-election. That's what I thought, but it just didn't sound right when I said it. James Tallarico beat Jasmine Crockett by 6 points.
Oh, 6 points. Okay, gotcha.
By 6 points. And will he have enough? Depending on who wins the runoff, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Democrats in Texas have been raring for a victory for a long time now, and once he is their new Beto O'Rourke. What Beto O'Rourke was in the 2010s, this is what James Tallarico is now. So we'll see what happens in fall.
Yeah, should be interesting. All right, moving on to our Dom. I'll let you handle this.
There we go.
The third big story.
That never gets old. I love that. I think the story is that soundbite, frankly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trump is MAGA. MAGA is Trump, Greg. What do you make of that?
I guess, it's a perfect way of, is that what people are like? Hey, this is the year I'm dating myself. Is that what that's like? Is that what that is? Like, he's like, I'm taking time for me. I am MAGA. MAGA is me, baby. Oh, let's do this. Let's invade a country. Oh, let's paint everything in gold. I love myself. Oh.
I'm taking a good long swim in Lake Me. He's getting a lot of pushback from right-wing pundits like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. I will say this: Tucker Carlson
and Matt Walsh.
Tucker Carlson has always just kind of been Tucker Carlson. Like, every once in a while he goes against the grain. Megyn Kelly is on fire lately, man. She is just like, the gloves are off and she is at it. I don't know what is going on there.
She needs to make money. It's the measured version of her that was on Fox, and I'm sorry to say that, but on Fox she was measured. If you compare her now to her then, and who she is now, she has to compete with these firebrands online to create attention, to get clicks, engagement, to make money. I mean, do I think she believes this stuff? I don't think so. I don't think a lot of them do, but she is pushing back on the president, and that's not out of pocket for her. But in this new version of Megyn Kelly, I'm surprised.
Well said.
Thank you.
All right,
I say things well.
You speak good. We are going to break for the news, and when we come back, writer August Lamb will be here. She is an anti-tech activist. Can't wait. This is Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
Then we sang about the loving things.
right, we do have August on. Let me put him on now. Hello, August.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Welcome to the show, August. My name is Greg, and the other host is Pete. He's right there.
Nice to meet you, August.
Hi,
Thanks for being here.
having me.
No problem. This is going to be a great discussion. So we're at a longer break right now. This is going to be until 5:35 our where are you located right now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in New York now.
Okay, yeah. So 5:35 our time. We'll be coming back, and we'll reset the show, introduce you properly, bring you on, and we'll have a great discussion.
Okay, sounds good.
Any questions for us before we get started?
No.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Perfect.
We'll keep it primarily to your the anti-tech activism, but if there's another article you want to promote or a book you have out there or something, just let us know. I mean, I know you do, your stuff is all over the place, but if there's something in particular, let us know and we can bring that up as well.
Yeah, it is all over the place. No, I mean, probably. I mean, my next big thing that I'm supposed to promote is my anti-tax book, so it works.
Yeah, we can do that.
Did you say anti-tax?
Anti-tech.
Oh, that's
tech.
Okay. I thought you were drifting into another anti-region.
Also against taxes. Just that's it.
Oh,
anti.
I could write so many anti-books. I have to tone it down because it's like I need to focus on my one issue. I don't want to alienate anyone.
Well, that could be your thing. You are the anti, and then it's just what you choose to be.
I'm anti so many things. Yeah,
I know.
Well, we can get to that.
There you go.
That's awesome.
All right. We come back in 3 minutes. Looking forward to the discussion. We'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
All righty. 3 minutes.
Thanks, 3.
T minus.
I've done theater.
Should we strike it?
Strike it? Strike it, reverse it?
We've done some of the shows with Quirky before, so we know all the terms. My favorite movies ever.
Wait, what movie is that?
It's Waiting for Guffman.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's...
When Catherine O'Hara died, I played the clip when they were at the restaurant with Eugene Levy and his wife. So funny.
Wait, say that one more time?
The clip where Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara are out to eat with Eugene Levy and his wife during the film, and they're talking about, well, I don't know if it's appropriate to talk about because we're on the
okay.
It's a very funny conversation. If anyone's listening, Google it. It's very, very funny.
Okay. Okay. All right. See you in a bit. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey, Dom. Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. You've got the Civic Media Radio Network. Dom, that's one of those songs I don't really know what it means. It's called Philadelphia Freedom. It's kind of a toe tapper. It sounds patriotic. I have no idea what it means, though.
I think it's written for Billie Jean King.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
That's why I love doing this show. I learn something every day with Greg Bach. That's fantastic. All right. We are going to shift our attention to our first guest of the night. She is a writer and an anti-tech activist. She has been published everywhere and is incredibly prolific. And now you're going to hear her voice. This is exciting. It is our pleasure to welcome to Nite Lite, August Lamb. Hi, August.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
I was almost going to make an anti-joke there, but I'm going to let that play out. This is so fun. Can you define, before we get too far into this, what is an anti-tech activist as you see it?
Well, I'm against tech or, technology in two senses, against big tech and the amount of power and money and manipulation that they wield. And I'm also against technology in our own lives and the way it affects our relationships and takes over our everyday moments and our thoughts and our free time and our creativity. Of course, those two things, the macro and the micro, they're connected. But I actually try to focus more on the micro, even though obviously I hate these technology companies that want to control us. But I think that we have more power than we think in our own lives to live without these devices.
And what brought you? I mean, I think there's a part of every single person who wants to do this. I mean, I shouldn't say every single person. I'm not going to speak for every human, but I think there are a lot of people out there who think about this on a fairly regular basis and say, I would love to just maybe not go anti-tech, but just say, I'd love to get rid of my smartphone, or I'd just love to not be on social media as much. What brought you to this point? And when you talk about it, how much convincing do you have to do for people?
Well, it's really interesting because you're right that so many people say they want to do this, and that's the major reaction that I get. And I will answer your question, but it's interesting that for every 100 people that say they want to get rid of their smartphone, if just one person did it, we'd be in a completely different world. But they won't. But the thing that got me to actually do it was I was working as an Instagram influencer, so I hadn't had any job, any other way to earn money outside of social media. I was doing art influencing, so working with art supply companies and selling drawings and teaching art and making videos and doing giveaways and stuff like that. And then when I decided that I couldn't handle it anymore, I couldn't handle having my whole life, my whole social network and my career being online, I had to start over in a way that was so dramatic and so difficult that I would hope that it would make the process seem easier for the average person who's just using social media for fun.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. I remember being in the doctor's office. I had a doctor years ago that I couldn't get reception in. So I had to sit there for 30 minutes, completely unplugged. And it was glorious.
I'm really sorry.
Well, and I think this goes to what Greg said. A lot of people like this in theory, but it's hard. What you talk about in your article, idleness is a lost art. What do we lack when idleness goes away, or when we don't have time on our hands?
Well, just so you know, if I were in a doctor's office for 30 minutes without anything to do, I would also be stressed and anxious. But the thing is, when you get rid of your smartphone, then you start bringing along a book or something like that. So you
read highlights.
We're losing so much. Like we're just losing our knowledge of ourselves, like our connection to what we want in our lives. Like if you think about just a small example of it, like let's say you're going from work to dinner with friends, and you're taking the train there and then you're taking the train home. If on that train ride you're looking at your phone and listening to music and stuff like that, you're not ever having those moments of, okay, how did my work day go? What do I want to ask my friend tonight? What am I feeling? How long do I want to stay there? What do I want to do when I get home? What's important for me today? Like, what am I grateful for? any of those things. So then you can just go through your life in a blur, and you can stay in bad situations, bad jobs, and bad relationships, and you're just dulling and silencing your thoughts so that they don't ever rise to the surface in any really dramatic way. And I find that without a smartphone, it's like I have to deal with my difficulties head on, because there's no escape. I can't just pick something up and run away from what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Well, I think, and whether it's smartphone, I mean, it's not just smartphone, it's tech too. I was watching a video on YouTube on tech, on social media, but I was watching it, and because I say that not to be facetious towards you, August. I'm saying for me, I am someone who would love to disconnect a little bit more, and then as soon as I think about my day, I think of how connected I am. But I watched a video talking about why people watch shows over and over again, because it allows them to kind of do exactly what you were saying. It allows them to control their own narrative, but it also allows them to not really think about the important things maybe that are going on. It allows them to kind of mute those moments in their life that demand attention. And there's both a good and bad side to doing that. But, you know, if not just the smartphone, like, what do you say towards the tech of like smart TVs now that are listening to us all the time, or these devices in our kitchens that, you know, we can just say, hey, put some toilet paper in the grocery bag and I'll buy it later. Like, what do you say beyond the smartphone for tech for people and how they can maybe turn off a little bit?
Yeah, that's stuff that I try not to think about on a daily basis, because that really freaks me out when I think about how embedded this stuff is. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people have grown so reliant on this on a daily basis. I think what's funny about all these devices, these convenience tools, is that, like, they might save us time, but actually having the internet and having smart devices is taking more time away. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to waste 5 hours of my day on social media, so then I need something to order my groceries automatically, because I can't go grocery shopping because I wasted that time on my device. It's such a strange thing. And then people say, like, well, it must take you so long needing to go to the library to, like, print things out and use the computer. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm not wasting any time. So, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm finding that over time, like, since I got rid of my smartphone and my computer, now that we're coming to things like robotic household assistants, it's like, am I even the right person to be talking about these things, or about AI, or about new tools on social media, new features? Because I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's something to be said about that too. I think you put in your article in the New York Times, when someone says, what do you think about the TikTok ban? And you say, what TikTok ban? I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there who'll be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, and they find that to almost be offensive that you don't know exactly what's happening in the world at this exact moment, because we get news everything's breaking, everything's important. But, you know, when you put your device down, you control what's important, because you control what you're taking in.
Well, what's really important is your only life that you have to live. And I don't know why, for every news story that happens, that people have no control over, you know. I mean, some things it is important to do your civic duty, but a lot of things it's just kind of content. And if you think about each New York Times news alert, and then millions of people are reading that, and so that's millions of minutes that are going into this thing, when it's like that's our lives. Like, there's no reason for us to know that. And I'm fine with people using the news because they're entertained by it, or if they're really interested in politics or whatever. But I do take issue with that attitude of oh, you're not doing your duty and participating in society by knowing everything that's happening every second. Like, I think that's something that people tell themselves to justify their titillation.
Yeah.
Our guest is August Lamb. She is a writer, and you should read her stuff. Go to augustlamb.substack.com. She has outstanding articles, fiction, nonfiction. We're talking about anti-tech activism here with her tonight. Earlier, August, you mentioned that you said these tech companies control us. I've had this conversation with a couple family members before who say the same thing. And my question is, in your opinion, was that their goal from the outset, or was it just to make really cool stuff and make money? Or did we kind of morph into that where now all of a sudden we are controlled and they're using it to their advantage? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's difficult for me to really demonize the tech companies, although of course what they're doing now is so harmful to us, because I think it all comes from really natural human impulses to just improve things and make things and explore things. And scientists just want to discover the next thing and to push and go further. And that's a beautiful thing for us. Like we invented the wheel. That's really great that someone said, let's move things with wheels. But then that same impulse is now, thousands of years later, is now making us make, an infinite scroll or something like that, or the next short form content that's going to be more addictive, the next algorithm. It's the same impulse. And I personally think that the people in the positions who are actually creating this technology, who are on the ground creating it and coming up with these ideas, with super smart people, they're just focused on the task at hand. I think they're just thinking, how do we make this algorithm better? And then it's so satisfying when you do, and you see the numbers go up and you're like, wow, we did that. We came up with the technology to do that. The problem is then you zoom out and it's made the world a worse place to live in. So I don't really blame the individuals. I do think that now I know a lot of people who work in tech. I've met a lot of people actually through anti-tech activism, because a lot of those people will come to the events. Strangely, I've never figured out why. It's not because they're disgruntled and wanting out. They're just kind of curious. I don't know if they're doing research, but anyway, I meet a lot of these people, and they do seem to have their values in the wrong place, just in their daily lives, wanting to make everything hyper efficient and impersonal, so you don't have to interact with someone, you don't have to leave the house, you don't have to put any effort in, just make everything seamless and efficient. And I sometimes just wonder if they realize that their end goal is to get rid of everything that makes life meaningful, every activity, every bit of effort, every relationship, because that's what we're trying to do with these tools. But I don't think there's really a nefarious intention beyond just making money, maybe.
I would venture that, like, a lot of those folks probably think what you just described is the ideal thing of being able to be, because I would say that in their brains, being connected in their fashion is being connected overall. And again, yeah, they might not see it as an evil, but I think they just see the world as different, as what we may dislike about tech, they absolutely love. And it's trying to find that middle ground. Probably part of the reason why they go see you speak, because they're just interested in how you see the world versus how they see the world every single day of their life.
Maybe they're just more open-minded than I am. But I do think it's interesting that if you follow my dogma or whatever, it's like, just live in your real life and accept the inconveniences and the imperfections of it. But if you follow theirs, ultimately what it leads to is we're all just comatose, strapped to a bed, hooked up to machines, and everything is just, our food's delivered into our bodies, entertainment's delivered straight into our brains. We don't have to move. Like, we have AI girlfriends and friends and everything. We just don't
love it.
That's kind of what it's leading towards, is like, we never ever have to do anything or feel anything.
Yeah. When we come back, we're going to keep speaking to August Lamb about this topic. If you have any questions, give us a call, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You are watching and or listening Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. All right, we're back in just a few minutes.
I want to know before the wheel came
I want to know.
After the wheel
what's
came out,
yeah.
You think there were anti-wheel activists? Bunch of slackers using the wheel. Let me carry the wheat on my back.
The wheat. I thought you said
Whatever
the wheat.
I'm
like,
I thought
plant.
so too.
That's how people are, though. They always, when I was a kid, you would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
This is fun. I so want to do this. I'm trying to put my phone down more. But
are
like for me,
are you looking at your phone right now?
No, I'm looking at these questions. But I will say, I'm ruining the earth with actual paper. I have all kinds of problems over here. But I'm saying, like, I wish I could put the phone down. But for me, it's a way to keep in touch with people where I used to live, or where, because you do stand up. You got friends all over the world. And to me, I don't think I could live. I live in a small town now. I don't think I could do that without social media.
I think you're just not looking at all the possibilities then.
Mm-hmm.
There's always ways to keep in touch with people, Pete. Also, really quick aside, Philadelphia Freedom was written by Elton John and Bernie Taupin for Billie Jean King because she played on a team called the Philadelphia Freedom's professional tennis team.
Now,
wow.
If the internet hadn't been your friend there, Greg, you would have had to run down to the library, pull out the card catalog, and look that up.
Well, no, I just remembered it. I saw it. I watched it on a documentary. God.
That wasn't very nice. I didn't give you credit for having knowledge without. Yeah, I just didn't know. It's a great.
I feel like I feel like I'm on Team Lamb here. I'm going to throw this phone away right now. Seriously, I would love nothing more.
Team Lamb, I love it.
Reading the article. Which one is it? It was right here. I gave up my smartphone for a dumb phone. You can too. That just gives me hope. Hope, I tell you.
You know, I almost went to a dumb phone about 4 years ago, and I went in, and it was like $10 cheaper than the smartphone. So I just kept the smartphone.
That's how they get you. That's why.
I know.
That's why a 16 ounce of soda is $1.50 and a 32 ounce is $1.51. They want to just get this. It could all be cheap and free. They give away these phones. It wouldn't matter.
I'm learning so much on this show.
All right.
We got about 30 seconds, guys.
Okay.
Are you bringing us back, Greg?
I can bring us back.
Okay.
This time I'll turn my camera on too.
Yeah, I panicked a little bit there.
Sorry, it was so many buttons. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. My name is Greg Bach. Across the table from me, in a manner of speaking, is Mr. Pete Schwaba. In Madison, we have Mr. Dom Lee on the ones and twos. You are listening to us on the Civic Media Network, and you can always be part of the conversation. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Still ahead, we are going to be having a great conversation with Susan Kearns, who is the executive director of Milwaukee Film. But you gotta stay here for that. You gotta stay in touch. You can do that by just listening. We'll be around until 7. We're here for you. Right now, we are continuing our conversation with August Lamb, who is a writer and anti-tech activist, about her history, about putting down the smartphone, picking up a dumb phone, and getting tech out of her life, and what kind of improvements that has made. And that's what I want to talk about really quick, August, is that from when you put those devices down or you limited your use of them, because I believe in the article it says you do utilize tech for posting, that's it, and you're done. But did you see a progress or like a betterment for your own mental health, like just throughout your day, like after like 1 day versus 2 days versus a week? Did you just feel like there was a better outlook for you in the world?
Yeah, definitely. I felt that immediately. There was that initial period of, oh my gosh, I have to come up with thoughts to have in my head so I don't go crazy, because we're not used to having to populate our brain with thoughts, because we just have things to look at and do on our phones. So that was difficult. Like, for example, going to the gym, I would be at the gym and everybody else is listening to headphones or on their phones, and I just had to think the whole time, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to exercise anymore. now I can do it.
Exactly.
No, it. But no, I immediately felt better. But the funny thing is that I thought I had gotten all the benefits after, a month or two of figuring out different things to do and different ways to think. But then now, even years later, there will be new revelations where I'm like, wow, this part of me just reawakened, after this long dormancy, this part of me, or this way of thinking, or this ability, like something, we all have our limits. And I often thought in the beginning, like, okay, I've gotten a lot of my brain back, but I'm always going to be bored, going to whatever, a classical concert or something. And then years in, I could just be fascinated by the music and love it and be enraptured. And I couldn't believe that anybody else was bored because I was on such a low frequency. And maybe that sounds awful. Like I've deprived myself so much that really anything will intrigue me. But now I just walk around and I look at things, and this world is endlessly fascinating to me, and I don't need any entertainment. So I still feel like I'm improving over time.
That's great. I was reading earlier in one of your articles about the two-factor authentication, and that frustrates the living daylights. There are times I see that and I'm like, just hack me. I don't want this much security. I'm not really hiding anything, but it is such a headache. So I was totally with you when I read that, but then I thought, what are people's reactions when you tell them what you do? When you say you're an anti-tech advocate or activist, or you do these things, are they on your side right away? Are they like, I wish I could do that like Greg and I are? Or can people find a happy medium? Have we figured out how addictive cell phones are just yet?
I mean, the most common reaction I get is just immediate recognition, understanding, and jealousy. So that was not the case a few years ago when I first got rid of my smartphone and I told people about having a brick phone, or I'd show people my Nokia phone, and they would be like, I don't understand. Why do you have that? It doesn't do anything. That doesn't make sense. But somehow now I think it's a combination of the discourse that people have absorbed, but also just we're reaching a critical point of frustration, and the technology has moved so quickly and we don't feel in control anymore. So people just understand it immediately, and they don't really need much explanation. The only people who don't understand are people who aren't addicted to their phones, like older people. I mean, a lot of older people are addicted to Facebook, but some older people are just like, why would you be against this phone? It's fine. You can just use it to take pictures once in a while. Like, they don't understand.
Well, it's funny to me is that, this is a generalization of some older folks, and so come at me if you'd like, but knowing older folks who would say, I don't want one of those smartphones. I don't need one of those smartphones. This is fine. And then years later, like, they cannot be without them because, as you said, they look at their Facebook, they take pictures, they do all these things, and they become, I think there's also this really bad stereotype that, people of a certain age, of like maybe like 50 and younger, are the only ones who are addicted to their technology, when really it's anyone can be. And you see a lot of younger people nowadays who are saying, you know what, I can have a flip phone. I'm fine. I don't need a smartphone. I don't need MP3s. I got CDs or vinyl. But it's not about what your age is. It's just how deep you go into it. And do you see that happening? Like, do you see older folks who maybe push back a little bit more than younger folks who are like, yeah, totally, get rid of that cell phone, I don't care. Whereas older folks be like, I cannot be without it.
Yeah, and in my experience, I have a lot of people writing to my PO box and telling me their experience not having a smartphone, and the older people who write are people who never got a smartphone and were never interested, and they held out, and now their time has come to that now everyone's on their side and realizing they were right all along. But I don't hear about older people radically making a change in their lives, and I think that's just because, unfortunately, it's easier for younger people, whether because of their place in society or because of, brain chemistry, I don't know, but to just rebel in that way and say, I'm not going to do this, I refuse. And I think for older people, it's just like that they are sort of taking what they're told to do. And for years, like, I still see posters now outside the library saying, like, the class to teach older people to use tech and like how to use a smartphone and how to use the internet. And it's like, why are we doing this? Why do they need to know?
Well,
Great.
August,
ahead,
thank you
Greg.
so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you being here and sharing your expertise and your thoughts on this. August Lamb is a writer and anti-tech activist. We will put her website on our show notes so you can check out her writings as well as her art. August, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the question of the day and speaking to Milwaukee Film's executive director, Susan Kearns, here on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to us on the Civic Media Network. Thank you so much, August. We really appreciate your time. That 7.5 minute segment comes up fast.
No, that was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to get rid of my burner phones because you've inspired me to do that, and I'm feeling good about it.
But your burner phone?
Have
He
you
doesn't
ever
have
met,
burner phone.
Have you ever met anyone with a burner phone that didn't have nefarious intentions?
Well, I think that's the whole point of having a burner phone.
I see a lot of people who have multiple smartphones now, so I don't know what's going on with that. I thought a burner phone was supposed to be a cheap flip phone.
Yeah,
it is.
Oh, I see people with. I used to see people with two phones, and I go, "Oh, you must be really important." And now I see people with two phones. I go, "Oh, that must be terrible."
Right.
Yeah, I feel for those people so much because I'm like, that is twice the misery that I ever experienced, and I was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Great
all right.
stuff.
Thank you so much, August. You have yourself a wonderful night. If you said you have a book coming up, so keep in touch and let us know when it's coming out, and we can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye. It's time for the secret show. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dun-dun-dun. We've got people who texting to the show talking about what they'd say to God.
I totally forgot I had this great question. Tell me what you think of this, boys. Is it more difficult to get your anti-tech message out there without using tech?
Yes.
2 words, guys.
Wow.
Local Emmy.
I mean, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Jeez.
Waiting.
Oh, wow. What the heck here? Stop it.
Wow.
Leave me alone.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Ask the question. Ask the question again. Ask the question again, Pete. Ask the question again, Pete.
Oh, I got to pull it. Okay. Is it more difficult to get your anti-tech message out there without using tech? I love it. If I had asked that, it would have been curtains for me.
I will only do that, Dom, during the secret show. I will never play a sounder on the radio. It will only be on the secret show. I promise you.
Okay. All right, no worries. That was funny. That's perfect, though. that scared the life out of me.
It was worth the wait.
Oh, man. I got so many here. You want to hear another one? Here we go.
No.
No.
No. No. No. No.
It's a barrage of no's.
Just a bunch of
Was that last one Michael Scott from The Office?
Yeah.
When Toby came back?
No! Yeah.
oh, God, please no.
Oh, man. Just...
We got some texts. We've
got some texts.
You can read those. We'll do my... Oh, here are some questions that people wanted to ask God from Wise Brother. I can read those too. Because I don't think we have a ton of texts, or we just have we only got
we have some texts.
We have some
texts,
cool.
Yeah.
Text line, we have a lot, yeah.
Cam, I'm gonna message Dom. I'm gonna message you. I'll message both of you guys right now. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
You know what? Jesus Christ Superstar is very good.
Oh, it's stuck in my head.
Jesus Christ Superstar?
Video kill.
How can that be stuck in your head? I just said it.
No, the yes, video killed the radio star.
It's a great tune. Great tune.
Oh.
I missed my chance to go to the bathroom. Are we live?
We are. We're on the secret show right now. That's weird.
Okay, guys, we got about 1 minute.
Perfect. Love it.
can hear you breathing, Pete.
I can't.
I'm out of breath and I'm sitting at my desk.
Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you got lots of breath happening right there, buddy.
A little cardiovascular.
I see.
All right, 10 seconds.
All right.
Trying to make sense of the world? You've got Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Call our toll-free number now.
Headlines, culture, and real conversation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Here's Pete and Greg.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Seriously, you're listening to Civic Media. I am in Radio Park right now. It's in Racine. I'm in what's called the control room of my regular studio. This is where I do the show now because it's just easier. But now I have to be in charge of buttons during the show. And sometimes I go to talk and the button is not pressed properly. So Pete and Dom just see me talking to nothing. My point being is, welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You are listening to us either on the radio, on the Civic Media app, or watching the live stream. We are on Facebook, YouTube, or the platform we still call Twitter. Get the Civic Media app right now. It's absolutely free. You can listen to live shows, whether it's music, talk, you can get your news. You can, let's see what else. You can call, text, you can leave a voice note, and take part in our text to win contest, which I believe there's a new one coming up sooner than later. So yeah, just get the Civic Media app and you can take us anywhere in the world, Pete. We have gotten text messages from Vienna, New Zealand, East Brunswick, New Jersey.
What?
It is. Yes.
That's insane.
See? I used to say that all the time on the old show, Pete, and no one was impressed. And finally, I found someone in my life when I say East Brunswick, New Jersey, you give it the credit and recognition it deserves. But yeah, get the Civic Media app. We are so happy you're here with us. We still have one more hour for today's show, and it's gonna be a band. We're talking to Susan Kearns, who's the executive director of Milwaukee Film, in a little bit, talking about the film festival. And I guess there was some big news regarding the Downer Theater we can discuss as well. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's great. Another wonderful day in Nite Lite version 2.0. Pete, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Greg. And
Yeah.
I like what you said about taking the app all over the world. I do think, it's funny, like someone Dom's age, like Dom, if I made the joke to you, yeah, I can call you later. I get 50 anytime minutes. Mm-hmm. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah,
it does not.
Does the phrase free nights and weekends mean anything to you?
Nope.
Those were all selling points for cell phones back in the day. Wow. Because back in the day, you would have a certain amount of cell phone minutes you could use during the daytime. And then after a night, I think maybe 7 o'clock, you could talk as much as you wanted. Because you had to buy a plan, which you said like, oh, I want 200 minutes a month. So you could only talk for 200 minutes in that month from 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you went beyond that, they would charge
$12
you
a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. They would charge.
That. I don't think that does not sound good at all. I do not like that.
Try having a burner phone with only 50 anytime minutes. I'm out on a mission. I can't make a call. I got all the info I need. Yeah. Hey, this is fun, guys. We got Susan Kearns coming up. We're going to talk Milwaukee Film. We've got our question of the night. Dom, why don't we reintroduce the question of the night, and then we'll read some texts.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
If you could ask God a question, what would it be? That is our question of the night, folks. Please be part of the show. It's so much more fun when you guys participate. You can also, you can drop us a text on the text line, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or the app that Greg just mentioned, or drop us a stream comment. Always fun to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this question? Have you noodled it?
I've noodled it. And it comes down to do I want to be super serious or do I want to be, funny? I can be super serious and just bum all of you out, but I feel like it also, there's a part of me that would walk up to God and be like, so all that stuff I said down there about you, we're cool, right?
Like when
We're
you
good?
took his name in vain, Greg?
Or like I was like, the whole like I don't think you exist thing.
Yeah,
we're good, right? I'm wrong. Clearly, I'm wrong. I'm here, and I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So you could have sent me down immediately via a lackey or an intern, but I'm talking to you, so you must be cool. So we're cool. We're good. That's probably what I would say. My question to God, the most self-involved. We're good. That's it.
That's a great question, and I think and you might thank him for not smiting you when you said all those things, and you said, "Here's what This is why I phrased the question the way I did, because I don't know. Everybody refers to God as He, and I just don't know. So I wouldn't. First of all, my question would not address the gender of God, but also I think I would ask. I have two questions. I would ask who killed Kennedy, because I really truly am curious about that.
Okay.
And my other one would be, will I see you again? Because I want to go to heaven. I want to get in, man.
Oh, so you're okay. So this question is posed as you get a moment. See, I understood it as I'm dead. I'm at the gates, and God comes up and says, "You get one. You get one." Well, then
I would be, "Can I come in?"
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That sounds like something you hear at like a very up-tempo church, and then they go into like a 30-minute song. Right. We got some messages on the text line. First of all, Brett in Brown Deer, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for the love. He says, "Wow, I'm back, and now Greg is part of the night team." Cool. I'm a fan already. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. He also says, if I couldn't ask God for the lottery numbers, I'd ask him for what's up with the short lifespan of dogs. Good question, Brett.
Gave that some thought. That's impressive.
That is a great question. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. Oh my God.
Where'd you go, Brett? Let us know.
I know where he went, but I don't know if he wants me saying. So if you want to tell us, Brett, feel free. Feel free. Yeah, totally. Why are dogs designed to do nothing but just break your heart one day? That's the other question I was.
He gave that serious thought. Dom, did you have an answer?
I do, yes. I would say...
You have an answer?
No, I don't have an answer. I have a question.
Oh, okay.
There's no answers.
What is up with the dinosaurs? Like, what was going on with that? And that's what I would ask them. I would be, I'm not a super believer in dinosaurs,
Oh boy! Oh no!
Wait a minute.
No. This is not a good. No, maybe not.
You're not a believer in dinosaurs?
No. Not.
They walked off the flat Earth, Dom. Come on.
That's what I would ask God.
You know what? Hold on 1 second. You asked that question. You got that question. I got a call here from God.
He's calling.
Yeah, he said.
Okay.
He wants to know what's up with dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's a he apparently. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let him know. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah. God said, "Ask scientists." That's what he said.
Wait, God didn't have Dom's number? He had to call Greg?
Well, I'm his go-between. I'm sort of like, whatever.
Do me a solid, Greg.
Stop asking so many questions, Pete.
Let Dom know what I said. Peter from New London says he would ask God, "Do you have change for $1? Mostly quarters."
Mostly quarters. I got to do laundry, God. Can you get me some change? Oh,
and
man.
Then he says,
that's funny.
"Customer service, can you please hold?" I don't get that. Pete's first one was gold. I don't get that one.
I think it was just, I think Pete was trying to be funny. Maybe he's just working on new bits. Maybe Pete's working on new bits. Tony the trucker listening and says, "Pete, Greg, why is there no beer in heaven? Boxers or briefs?" Interesting.
Well, first of all, let's address that. Either you don't need beer in heaven because you just feel the euphoria that beer brings you all the time anyway. That would be my guess. And boxers or briefs. There's no clothes in heaven, right? It's just a big nude fest, I would think, or just people that we're just spirits. You can't put pants on a ghost, right? You could,
Well,
I suppose.
I know.
I think that the question refers to, there's a song called "In Heaven There Is No Beer." Also, wow, your heaven's freaky. So,
Look, I don't like wearing clothes as it is. I'm just kidding, but I'm just thinking. I think if we're there, it's all just a big, who cares, right?
yeah. I mean,
I'm guessing.
I
I don't
think
know
that,
this, guys. I'm not trying to sound like I'm the authority.
Well, I don't know how I feel about heaven. I don't know if I really. I mean, that's once again a whole other conversation that just might get listeners very angry at me. But I don't know. Like, I feel like heaven's just going to be like here, only maybe you're thinner or taller or have better hair. I don't know. Whatever thing you want in your life, you get. in heaven.
It's an easier place to keep the weight off. That's what
exactly. It's like the movie. Okay, so like Defending Your Life. Has anyone here seen Defending Your Life?
Movie. Great.
That movie proposes the idea of heaven in the best way possible. It's just like it's very clinical. You go to a place, you defend your life, then you move on or you don't, and that's it. That's the gist of an afterlife in that movie, and I am here for it.
It was a great take. Monica from Mount Horeb in the 608 says, "Do you exist? If you exist, why do people think you're male?" That's a good question, Monica.
We got another call from we have another call from God here. This one's from Monica. Yeah, she wanted to. Yeah, she did. Great. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, his answer to that last question is, "Look who wrote the Bible." That's your answer. Okay.
Ross from Crawford County in the 608 says, "Does August see technology any different than the other human-made technology like television, automobiles, etc.?" That's a great question. I'm sorry we missed that when she was here, Ross. We can send an email.
She did kind of in the first segment, Ross, if you didn't catch the first segment, she did kind of address that as far as like, beyond cell phones when we look at cell phones. We didn't talk about automobiles per se, but yeah, I mean, that's a good question, and I apologize we did not get to that. Let's see here. Ross in Crawford County also says, "I would ask, what in the heck were you thinking? Go to your room." Boy. It's like someone wants to smite God themselves. My goodness gracious. I also can't get over the fact that Dom said out loud into a microphone, "I don't know how I believe in dinosaurs. Like, I don't really believe in dinosaurs."
I don't know how to explain it. Just the bones are too big, and it freaks me out whenever I go to a museum. It maybe I do believe in them. I believe in them, but it gets to a point, where you go to a museum, they're massive creatures, and it just scares me. So I'm like, okay, you know what? There's no way.
We got to bring God into this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your fear in giant bones is what's pushing your non-belief of dinosaurs.
Exactly.
So I have a lot of questions here. I just
think about that. I'm going to read some more text.
What are the other things? Okay, fine. I was going to say, what are other things you're afraid of that make you not believe in things? Now I'm just interested in that. Okay, go on, Pete. Read more.
Dave in Madison in the 608 says, "Dear God, why did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?"
Fair point.
Fair enough.
Did they?
Dave is also on the stream and says, "Are you non-binary?" I think that's a good question. Monica from Mount Horeb says, "Broke my phone, tried to unlock my credit to buy a new phone, locked because of my multiple cyber breaches, couldn't buy a phone plan because the MFA went to my broken phone, which I couldn't access, had to opt for a month-to-month phone. If I need to buy a car, I'm going to be SOL. The things we own end up owning us."
I think, yes.
That's awesome. That's a great text.
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever be anti-tech. And that was the question. Question I wanted to ask her because of the jobs we do. We are so ensconced in our tech as far as looking at the news, reading stories. I'm sitting in a room with tens of thousands of dollars worth of tech right now. And what is the feasibility of, or what is a plan for someone like me to say, all right, I'm going to cut out this or that. Maybe it's I get home tonight and I just put my phone in the bedroom and leave it there for the rest of the evening. Like those little steps you can take versus maybe shedding it completely. That can be difficult, but maybe those little steps.
She said too, baby steps. Yeah, take an hour if you can do it. Jim from Appleton says, "Where are you?" That's his question for God.
Nice.
And AJ from Madison, "Did we go to the moon?"
We did.
Tom, that's with your similar to Dom's question.
Hold on. Yeah. God's Yes, we did. We went to the moon.
He keeps calling, or she keeps
because
calling.
I'm answering
God
those questions.
Calling.
All right. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're talking to Milwaukee Film's executive director, Susan Kearns, about the Milwaukee Film Festival, as well as what they're up to, as well as maybe some new news on a theater. You have to find out more to find out. Stick around to find out more, I should say. I can talk. We are listening to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close. All right. I can't. When I get in the endings of those, I get so like, blah, 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 and I realize what I've just said. And goodness gracious. And then you want to bring in, I believe, Susan is here.
What the heck?
Hello, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Hi. How are you all?
Look at that sprawling home behind you. It's so just
absolutely real.
I wasn't going to ask you this until I saw where you live, but I would love it if you could belt a tune out for us on the old grand piano back there. I've used that too. Whatever it is about that background, when I use it, that's people was like the subject of conversation for like 5 minutes. I'm like, it's just
I
a
love that.
background. Yeah.
I love that room. It looks really open and just nice, and the brightness of it all. Oh, goodness gracious. Love it.
Well, I'll tell you, my real background is my office, and it's also where I keep all my extra props. So it's a little bit too weird for general audiences.
That's great. I saw something recently on Facebook. It was a picture of you and Kara Mulrooney. I didn't know you guys were friends.
Oh,
I love
yeah,
Kara. She's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's probably made some of these props actually sitting around me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She and Tate, yeah, they're very nice people. I met them at the Wisconsin Film Festival a few years in a row, and she was on a show I host there on PBS, and just really big fans of theirs. Great people.
How do I know her? I feel like I've met her before.
Right. I mean, she's an actor, and I think she does casting too, right, Susan? Like,
yeah, she does it all, like producing.
Yeah.
She's got a feature coming out. Yeah, she's very talented.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about. This will be fun. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
Yeah, I couldn't even believe your email. Like we were definitely going to get into Women's History Month and the Downer Purchase, but you have great Oscar events too. I really want to get into that as well.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to talk about.
Perfect.
All right. We got about 20 seconds, guys.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach, coming to you live tonight from various parts of Wisconsin on the Civic Media Network. We are talking about a lot of the things in life that make us happy tonight. A little anti-tech talk in hour one. We're going to switch our attentions now, and I loved our responses for the question tonight. Maybe we can ask our guest, our next guest, what she would do if she could ask God a question. But let's bring her on and not waste any more time. I love having this next person on Nite Lite. She is the executive director of Milwaukee Film, and she joins us here periodically to keep us posted on all things movie related happening in Brewtown. Susan Kearns. Hi, Susan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to see you. I don't want to put you on the spot. You can think about this if you want, but if our question of the night is, if you could ask God a question, what would it be?
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that question, actually.
Maybe what's your favorite movie? I don't know. We can come back to you on that. That's okay. But it's great to have you here. So let's start right away with the big news coming out of Milwaukee Film yesterday. You used this theater before, and in the Oriental, you guys have great programs there. But tell us about the Downer Theater.
Yeah, so we just bought the Downer Theater. We closed on it last Friday.
Wow.
We have been operating it through a rental agreement for about the past 2 years. And we had an option to purchase that expired this month. And so we basically made the moves that we needed to do so that we were able to purchase it. So
congratulations.
Am I correct that, like, I think probably about a couple of years ago, it just one night it closed. It just, they said they were done and everyone sort of lost their minds. Because for me, I used to live on the east side. I love the Downer Theater. I've seen so many beautiful movies there. And there's such a feel about it that, you feel like you're in a big city because you're in a tiny movie theater seeing a very small film. And I love that Milwaukee has that option. But if I'm not mistaken, it had closed one night, and then you all came in and decided to essentially do what you said. You took it over and you were renting it. But I guess like it's been 2 years now since that happened.
So that happened, I believe, in 2023. So
Okay.
it was closed for roughly a year. And I have those dates wrong, but for roughly a year until Milwaukee Film was able to take it over in 2024. And you're absolutely right. It was, the Landmark had been operating in it, and it's just, they decided not to continue operating it. So, yeah.
Why don't we talk about this is Women's History Month. So you guys are always so active in whatever. I know you had a lot of events for Black History Month. What's on tap this month?
Yeah, so for Women's History Month, I mean, one of the great things about this month in particular is that we have a lot of programming by women directors already. So, so a couple of the big things like Wuthering Heights, which it has definitely been what I would say a polarizing film. A lot of chatter out there about whether people like it or not, but I would expect nothing less from the director of Saltburn. And then we've got The Bride coming out, and that starts this Friday. What I think is cool about both of those, having those on our screens in March, is they're both directed by women, and they're both kind of different interpretations of classics. And so I think it's a really fun thing that we can offer to audiences, so we can celebrate women's voices, but doing it in a way that is also just interesting to think about. What do these classic stories still have to tell us or to talk to us? And how can we use those? We've also got a super cool Michelle Yeoh series coming up with Everywhere All at Once, and Heroic Trio 1 and 2, which are just, if you haven't seen those, a lot of fun. Some people are calling them sort of proto K-pop Demon Hunter.
Wow.
and then Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which everybody loves too. So if people aren't familiar with those of her films, they're amazing.
It's so great because I have not seen Wuthering Heights yet, or The Bride. I think The Bride opens this weekend, actually. So I'm not, but I did like the Frankenstein. That was kind of a different interpretation. The new one with Jacob Elordi as the sexier Frankenstein. But I'm very anxious. Yeah, I loved Promising Young Woman. So I'm just a fan of all of her movies. So I'm excited to see that. When you guys, I know the announcement about the Milwaukee Film Festival isn't coming out till next week, but will you use other venues besides the Oriental and the Downer for the film festival?
For this year, we're going to stick with the Oriental and the Downer. It just allows us to really capture the energy of the festival and kind of contain it in that one part of town. It worked so great last year that we're sticking with that this year.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we've got, when we're going to break for the news in just a moment here, and we're going to come back and talk about some of the really cool stuff that Milwaukee Film is doing for the Oscars on Oscar night, and they're playing shorts and all kinds of stuff. And they're going to celebrate Milwaukee Day only in a way only Milwaukee Film really, I think, can do, and they have the perfect movie for it. So we'll tell you about that. Susan, have you had any more time to think about your God question?
Oh my goodness, no! I've already forgotten.
You think about it. Think about it during the news. We've got some we could get to some other people.
Okay. While you're doing that, I will simply. My mom is texting in right now asking about something. It is your phone, Mom. It's your phone that's maybe having on the hiccup. She's having some tech problems right now. I'm going to tell her, Mom, it's your phone, so you're good to go. Just reload the app. Reload the app. My mom's adorable, everybody.
That is great. I cannot wait to meet Mrs. Bach.
Okay, don't ever say it like that again.
No, I'm not like going to ask her to slow dance or anything, Greg. I'm just a fan of you, so I think I'll like your mom too. That's all. I didn't mean
She's
it.
Lovely. I'll bring her on the show one day, begrudgingly. She'll be very upset about it.
We'll do that. City Politics on the stream says, could you heat a burrito so hot that even you couldn't eat it? That's his question for God. Okay. Sydney always thinks outside the box. He says, Happy New Year, everyone. That's an inside joke. Then he says hi to Dave on the stream, and Dave says, great song, Dom. And he says, sup, Sid. And then he says, Sid, we need to meet up. They have a bromance. It's a very beautiful thing here at Nite Lite. All our listeners love each other. We are coming back after the news with more about Milwaukee Film and how they're celebrating the Oscars. It's going to be a blast. Susan Kearns is here, folks. It's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
Pete, do you have, do you have the clock in front of you at all?
I did. It disappeared. Yeah. Okay. Why do you ask?
Well, we've just been coming in very close. I wasn't sure if you could see the clock or not.
Well, it's just a little game I play with myself.
There you go. Cool deal.
How close can Pete cut on the edge? Oh, is that your mom, Greg? The 414?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad because I was like, I did.
Actually, we can
Oh, I do.
No, I think. Hold on, we can do this here. We can. And it's
Susan the other night. Dom gave his own mother's telephone number out during.
Yeah,
don't tell her.
He
that.
did.
That was
did.
a lapse of judgment. Yeah, that was bad. That was the worst thing I could have done.
He just kept on going and going. I'm like, well, shut up, stop doing that.
You told me to stop 3 times, and I don't know why. I just kept going.
I don't know either, because you trust the world, Dom. You trust the world.
Yeah, no big deal.
Susan, have you been to the Interchange Theater, or Greg? Have you?
No,
I've been there. Yeah.
It's kind of a cool joint. My son does improv and sketch and stuff, and they have a really cool space. It's like an old church. I was there a couple weeks ago, and I'm going back probably next week. But I love the vibe there. It's like $10 to get in, and it's like you bring food.
Where is that?
It's on 10th Street in Wisconsin, where the 10th Street Cathedral is. Basically, not across the street from the library, but like it's like, I can't say kitty corner because there's no corners right there. But if you're coming down Wisconsin, heading towards the lake, it's on your right side on 10th Street. It's right there in the corner. There's a church, and then in the basement floor, you go in there, and it's a fully renovated theater. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it. I need to check it out.
It's cool. A great space, and it's hard to, even with GPS, I was like, and I don't know that area of Milwaukee very well, but it was hard to find even with GPS. But yeah, it's a really, they have a great space in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I kind of like spaces like that they make you work for it a little bit. You know, there's a couple galleries in South Milwaukee that are like that too. They're very neat.
I had this night. He did this show, and then he's like, "Are you okay if I go out with my friends?" Because that was the day I met you there, Greg. So I said, "No, go out, have a good time. I'll find something at the Oriental, one of my favorite theaters in the world." And wouldn't you know it, nothing lined up with the time. I was like, I just missed this, and then I already saw that. It was just like, I was so bummed because I would go there and just like hang out. It's like that cool of a theater, you know?
Yeah.
I'm currently navigating my mother through the radio, so. Love it. But she's listening. I'm not complaining at all. Not one bit. I love it. I thought I was talking to you in the earlier text. No worries. Now I'm texting her on my phone.
Oh dear. This is trouble.
Had I known, I would have invited my parents.
Greg's mom was like, why did Schwaba say that like that?
No, she wouldn't. She'd be like, yeah, I'll have a slow dance with the fella.
Well, now I'm wondering why Dominic gave out his mom's phone number.
Yeah, Dominic, why you give out your mom's number there, buddy?
There was no reason to. I don't know why I did it. It was a lack of judgment. That's it. She was texting in though too, so it was kind of like the same ordeal.
Really, which phone number was that? Which phone number was texting in? Which phone number was texting?
No worry, I don't know.
1-800 mind your business.
What's her social security number, Dom?
That's what you. That was the next question he asked too. I was like, what?
I did.
Yeah. Like yeah.
And you drop as much gold as I do. It's hard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
Ty Williams is a fun guest too, Susan. He was on a couple weeks ago. Always like talking to Ty. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable and.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He did such a great job with that Afrofuturism set.
Yeah.
Is a lot of fun. So
that was cool.
We have about 20 seconds, all right?
All right.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. My name is Greg Bach. Across the desk from me, I'm just not even going to say in a manner of speaking, he's across the desk from me, is Pete Schwaba. And we are here on the Civic Media Network. You are listening to us or watching us on the live stream. We are on Facebook, YouTube, at the platform we still call Twitter. And we are also on the radio or on the Civic Media app. So happy you are joining us this evening. Don't go anywhere before we get out of here. We are going to give you a handy tip for the night. But let us continue our conversation with the executive director of Milwaukee Film. Ms. Susan Kearns is here tonight. And we're talking about the purchase of the Downer Theater, which made me so very happy. But what else coming up? I know that the film festival is coming up in about a month and a half, but what else is coming up through Milwaukee Film that we should know about, or just preparing ourselves for the festival?
Yeah. So, as you said, the Milwaukee Film Festival is April 16th through 30th. So we've got, we're about 6 weeks out from there. Right now we're really in the thick of Oscars season. So, one of the things we do, because we know we have Academy Awards completists in our audience. So we're showing all of the shorts programs, the animation, the documentary, and the live action shorts. Those have been incredibly popular with folks, and we have ballots at the theater so that people can, mark off which one that they think will win the awards. We are also this year, we decided that we have a party the night of the big award show. So, we will have the awards on one of our theater screens. Basically what we realize is that most of our audiences are at home watching that night. So why not invite everybody in? So the theater will become everyone's living room, which I think will be a lot of fun.
It's such a great event because every year, I think everybody's like, where do I see the shorts or the fun animated? And you guys just crush it with these events. And it's a great way. And what we were talking about before when I was in Milwaukee a couple weeks ago, that's the one I just missed, is the shorts. And I would have loved, because where else do you see those, all together like that? But, and what better place to have an Oscar party than at the ornate, awesome Oriental Theater? So, when you do this, is there like champagne, or is it just a cash bar? What is the event like other than watching the awards?
Yeah, so we'll just have the regular concessions open. We have considered champagne actually, but we have beer and wine and cocktails and things like that already. THC drinks, if that's your interest, and so we'll do some special fun drinks for the occasion as well. Have a couple of special snacks. We are also going to be having some drawings for a little bit of swag and that kind of thing. So we'll just we'll make it fun in between the like when the commercials are on, and just keep it interesting for folks.
With regard, here we go. Sorry, I thought. Okay. With regard to the festival, I mean, all festivals I feel like start from very small beginnings. You're like, let's show some movies on a day. Can you talk to us really quick about like the evolution of the film festival from the beginning days to now? You've got you have two theaters. You have a recognizable name, not just here in Milwaukee as an event, but also all over the country and all over the world. That growth over the years to what you've become now, and how you get that out to the world to say like, yes, Milwaukee has a vibrant film scene and a vibrant film festival. Like, can you speak about that?
Yeah. So the film festival this year, it's 18 years old. So we're becoming adults this year. But honestly, like the Milwaukee Film Festival, when it came on the scene, it came out big. Yeah. And it was originally 10 days, and now it's just over 2 weeks. It's so I think it's 15 days. But we've really always had multiple screens and had presence in at least a couple of theaters. And they've been in different theaters around the city, and even as far up as Cedarburg at one point over the years, sort of here and there, depending on what, how the festival was ebbing and flowing. So just a couple of years before the pandemic was when we started operating the Oriental Theater year round. And so that was really a moment of change for the organization, because instead of everybody sort of putting all of our resources and efforts and concentrating those into, just a couple of weeks during the year, suddenly it's like our artistic director, Kara Ogburn, likes to say, we show movies every day. And so we do sort of have almost like a year-round film festival. But we still have this concentrated and very, very busy and robust event as well in April. we work really hard to make sure that we maintain that national and international presence and clout as well. So we're very lucky. We're known for having exceptional hospitality. So filmmakers who come to Milwaukee, they love Milwaukee audiences. They love the questions that our audiences ask. They love the popcorn. They love the theaters. They just have a really good time. So I think that is really helpful in terms of getting people to come back and getting filmmakers to tell their filmmaker friends. So it's been great over the years, the way that we've been able to build this reputation.
Our guest is Susan Kearns. She is the executive director of Milwaukee Film, an outstanding organization that celebrates culture and Milwaukee and movies, and they just do great work. Check out their website. Susan, talk to us a little bit about how you're celebrating Milwaukee Day on April 14th. How fun will this be?
Yeah. So what we decided to do for Milwaukee Day is to show the documentary Song Sung Blue. So the Song Sung Blue documentary was actually one of the very first Milwaukee film events back in 2008 when it came out. And that was before they had a theater. So we were able to put on just a one film event at the Oriental Theater to kind of celebrate the birth of Milwaukee film. So the fact that that film came out and it's been doing so great, we thought what better opportunity than to show the documentary again.
And that leads me to my question too, is like, I've been lucky enough to have tickets to the virtual version of Sundance and all those, and I'm not disparaging those, but they can come off very stuffy. There's, you see video of people in like, $10,000 suits going to these film premieres, and that's great. But what is it that you do for the Milwaukee Film Festival that you feel like sets it apart from other ones, that gives it besides the hospitality factor and just the fact that people who come here love this city and love this state, but what do you feel like sets Milwaukee apart from other film festivals as far as uniqueness?
Yeah, so one of the things that we keep hearing from people is, and it's hard to quantify, but people keep telling us it's the vibe. So Milwaukee has we're pretty chill people. But we also we're I think more attentive, and this is going to sound awful, but I think we're smarter than people maybe expect or something. So our filmmakers come in and they have these great conversations with fans, or they'll meet a fan who will be like, I love you, and here are 3 reasons why, and now I'm going to leave you alone, but thank you for being you. And then they'll leave, and the person's just like, that was kind of amazing. Yeah. So we can cultivate that in the space where people get to know each other, and it feels both just like a celebration of the joy of community cinema without getting weird, without the weirdness of like the posturing around $10,000 suits and paparazzi or anything like that.
I think you're absolutely right. I think when people hear Milwaukee or Wisconsin or the Midwest, they have an automatic assumption of intelligence, artistic intelligence, those types of things. And I've known from many people who come to Milwaukee who will tell me, on day 2 of being here, I had no idea this place was so amazing. The people are so nice. They're so fun. And I think, speaking to what you just said, I think that's very much a Midwestern nice thing of, you're very great, I love your work, I won't bother you anymore. And they move on. They're not trying to get to know you, be your best friend. They just want to tell you you're great, and they're going to move on with their life. But I think that's a very underestimated attribute for Milwaukee overall.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll say is that Milwaukee impresses people in so many ways. So when we have folks come in, they talk about how great the food is. They talk about how beautiful the lakefront is. And, they'll talk about how beautiful the theaters are, but even they'll give us, they'll be like, I can't believe you're showing this movie. That's amazing. Yeah. So it's really just, we kind of, I'm going to say accidentally, even though we all put a lot of thought into what we do, but there is a way in which the city kind of accidentally hits all the marks for people. And it's a catch-22 because we want more people to come to Milwaukee and see how great we are. But there's also kind of something great about being this really amazing secret.
It's funny. I have not seen the documentary, Song Sung Blue. I saw the movie and I liked it. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it probably only bothers people that live in Milwaukee, and I don't live in Milwaukee, but that they shot it in New Jersey. No one else will care.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, come on. And I will say, I loved Kate Hudson. I hope she wins the Oscar. Hugh Jackman looked like Hugh Jackman with a wig, and he's always great. But I loved Kate Hudson. We had Hudson Hensley on the show a couple weeks ago who played the kid. And that scene at the end where he's looking at Hugh Jackman on the video was my favorite scene in the whole movie. It was a very sweet film.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed Song Sung Blue as well. We definitely did hear that, I mean, not that people were mad at us or mad at the film, but it is like a disappointment that they weren't able to film in Milwaukee. And that I guess I'll, cue up the Wisconsin tax incentives because that a lot of people talked about that we're so lucky that we have the Wisconsin film and television production tax incentives kicking in this year so that for the next Song Sung Blue, they can shoot it in Milwaukee. But you're absolutely right. Like at the end, the custard shop, we're all, we all see that. We're like, we know that's supposed to be Leon's and it's not.
Yeah. Well, and that's not like there is that movie Love Hurts with Ke Huy Quan in it, and it takes place in Milwaukee. And I'm like, this is an industrial hellscape. This is not Milwaukee at all. And also, I just think it's funny they picked Milwaukee and they're like, it's overrun by gangs and drug lords. I'm like, okay, you didn't research Milwaukee really well, did you? It doesn't look like. But I'm hoping, but I think you're right though, Susan. I'm hoping that not just, I hope all sorts of artists take advantage of these tax credits from the independent filmmaker to the major studios, and Wisconsin, whether it's our legislators, whomever, sees the benefit of having these because, I mean, all you have to do is look at Atlanta, and that's the end of that conversation right there of whether or not this does good for the community. And I hope that in 2026 they take advantage of it. Are you working as Milwaukee Film, and educating people on that right now, or is that something that's going through the state?
Yeah, so that's all going through the state. I am part of the steering committee for Action Wisconsin. And so we were an advocacy group that was really trying to help, just raise awareness about what tax incentives are and how the community could kind of mobilize to help get word out that these are useful to makers in Wisconsin. But now at this point, since Veronica Pope has been hired, she's really in charge of that at the state level. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. I thank you for your work on behalf of the incentives, because I do think it is going to matter. I think a lot of what I love about Wisconsinites is that they're hell-bent on shooting their film here anyway. So this is kind of doing them a favor, but for their loyalty, but it'll also help bring more people in too. So you'll have to come back and tell us when we get a little closer to the announcement of the lineup, or after it's out, what we can see at the film festival this year. This is always fun, Susan. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and shout out to Greg's mom.
Yeah, you heard it right here, Jackie. Everyone loves you.
She's just part of the team. It's awesome. Yeah. All right, we are coming right back to wrap things up and get Greg's handy tip of the day. It's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
All right. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, happy to do it. I'm seeing the note here about the recordings are uploading, so I will sit tight until I see that is complete.
You can actually, if you want, you can do that, and you can we can put you into the waiting room, or you can hit that orange button at the bottom of the screen with the little arrow pointing to the right, and it will upload there as well. So you can go on with your evening and have a great night.
Okay, that's
go play some piano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tickle the ivory, Susan.
Right back there. Okay, so the button that says leave studio is not going to screw you all up at all.
And no, it won't at all. It will upload it without you having to be in the stream.
Okay, excellent. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
no
Susan.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You too. She's a fun guest. I like Susan.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Dom didn't want her on, but
that's not true.
Susan believes in dinosaurs, so why would he want her around?
I'm never gonna let that.
Dom's never gonna let that
go.
I'm never gonna let that go.
Oh man.
All right, so we got a few. Well, Greg, what's your?
I'm going to talk about the guy who was pulled over in the UK.
Oh, I gotta read up on that. So we got about just a few texts. We can zip through those. And,
Great. It's a quiet secret show. I'm
just being contemplative.
Is it I always say contemplative. I thought it was contemplative.
Well, it depends on the advertisement you're referring to, or the advertisement.
Now I just feel like I'm being made fun of.
No, I honestly don't know. I always used to say advertisement, and at one time someone's like, "Oh, advertisement." I'm like, "That's just how I was taught." I'm not.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing to cling to. I'm better than you because this is how I say it.
I hear people now say this more, and I always thought, okay, so I hear people say comparable, and I always thought it was comparable.
Comparable. That's how I say it too.
Yeah. So when I hear it, I don't want to call anyone out because I know I'm not. I know they're not wrong. It just doesn't sound right when someone says comparable. I'm like,
both are acceptable though.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'm hearing people on the news, legitimate news saying, irregardless, and I'm like, nope, get off.
That's irregardless one
because it's now a word. They've just given in. They've made it a word because it is said so often. But to me, crayon. I say crayon.
All right, well, we have 10 seconds.
Crayon is probably the right way to say it.
Yeah.
Can see all the stars as you walk down Hollywood Boulevard. Some that you recognize, some that you've hardly even heard of.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. My name is Greg Bach, and across the table with me is Mr. Pete Schwaba. On the boards right now in Madison is Dom Lee. You can always be part of the conversation, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. We are going to be here tomorrow. Don't you worry, folks. We're always here Monday through Friday for you to, hang out with, have a good time with, have a great conversation. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be talking to Patrick DeHaan, who is a petroleum and analyst. He's a petroleum analyst and media commentary expert. He'll be talking about the gas prices with regard to the war. We were talking about this yesterday. Major sticker shock on the fact that gas was, like, for me, $2.40 a couple days ago. Now it's $2.99. So we'll be talking more with Patrick about that tomorrow. And then it's our popcorn pick of the week. And who did you secure for such a lofty title, Pete?
Civic Media, Southeast Wisconsin journalist here at Civic Media, Mr. Stuart J. Waddle. Stuart's always fun.
Boom. All right. Well, he'll be joining us. We'll be joining us tomorrow for the popcorn pick of the week. That's all coming up tomorrow on the show. You can always be part of that. And don't go anywhere, because after the show here, we got lots of great programming happening. And don't forget to download the app. You can take us wherever you want, listen to live music or the talk shows, but we're here for you. Get the Civic Media app. It's absolutely free. So, Pete, we had some more text messages regarding the question of the night, which was, what would you ask God if you were to be in front of them, him, her, it?
This is I think this is my favorite. Diana from Oshkosh says, I would ask God why he gave men, or if he gave men nipples on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem strange. That's a legit question. Thank you, Diana. Tom, I don't know. I like my nipples. I don't know what I would do without them, but
oh boy,
we'd manage. We could say that, right? That's not a
you'd
swear word.
You'd be fine. No, you could. I'm not saying that's not. It's not because I think it's a swear word. It's just a thing you just said out loud. Like,
yeah,
I like.
Well, what
my
are we
nipples.
doing here? It's talk radio.
Fair point.
Tom from Jackson says, "Why ugly people?
Hey,
cruel." That's okay. That's good, Tom. And then we've got where are we at here? Oh, I can't say that one. I can't say that one. Then we've got on the stream, Sydney Politics says, crayon too, and he's the one that asked the question. He said, "Do you all say crayon, like CRAYON,
Mm-hmm.
And Dom and I both said we say crayon. Greg says crayon.
I say crayon, yeah.
Okay.
Or but I also may say crayon in the moment. Like it's like sometimes I say envelope, sometimes I say envelope. It just sometimes I say proceed, sometimes I say proceed. Like it just depends on how the word falls out of my face.
Well, and what kind of party are you at where you mention the word crayon and someone looks down their nose at you? Like a kindergarten graduation? Like who when does crayon ever come up? No one's going to look down their nose at it.
Oh, I see someone went to finishing school saying crayon. Oh, my word. Oh.
Sydney says he's with me, and Dominique says agreed. Hopefully Pete does another movie showing. Oh, so he can meet Dave. Yeah. We were at the same movie screening in December, and this bromance could have been consummated with a handshake. Nothing weird, and they didn't make it happen. It was such a bummer. So we'll have to do that again. Thank you for all your texts, everybody. These are great.
Yeah, we really appreciate everyone reaching out to us, being a positive force for us all here on the show. We love it. Now it's time to get to the handy tip of the night.
Oh, it's the tip of the night.
How much did we have to pay Kermit the Frog for that voiceover? I'm just wondering, did that come out of the discretionary budget, or is that like petty cash?
All free, all free.
All free. I know a guy who knows a guy. All right, I can call Kermit. I'm like, hey Kermit, ask God why men have nipples. All right, here we go, folks.
Do we have petty cash? That's impressive.
This is funny to me. All right, so this is going to be interesting because you would think the handy tip would be a very given, but the fact that we're talking about the story means it's not. So a man in the UK was pulled over and busted for driving under the influence of marijuana and possession of cannabis this week. Here's the kicker. He was in the middle of taking a driver's test at the time. That's probably a few things you shouldn't do during a driving test, cracking open a beer, smoking a joint, that kind of thing. They pulled him over. They stopped the vehicle and they noticed that he had a defective brake light. They also asked if it caught their attention due to poor driving. You know how fast he was going? No, you tell me. It was a 26-year-old man, wasn't fully licensed, but they were under the influence of marijuana and were arrested for possession of cannabis. So I feel like I'm just going to say this, folks. If you're going out there and getting your driver's test, it's a great moment, big moment. If you pass, congratulations. Save the party for home. Just do that. You've earned a celebration. You get to treat yourself. And I'm not going to tell you what that treat should or should not be. But if it's going to include alcohol and or marijuana, please do not imbibe it before you get in the car, especially the test. Take the test, pass the test, go home, celebrate. That's my tip. Pete, what about you?
I say take the test before you're 26. I don't know what this guy was doing, but 26, and his mom was waiting for him. I mean, someone had to drive him there. Although I knew of a guy in high school who drove. He was this country kid. He drove to his driver's test, and they never asked him any questions. Like they had no idea. He'd been driving a pickup around the farm forever.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to make of this guy. Like he's obviously not that bright. Do you have to give someone a drug test? Can you just smell weed on them right away, or the booze on his breath? Don't you know right away? Maybe they wanted to make it official, but maybe he you know what, Greg? I bet he had a burner phone, and that's strike 3 right there.
Hey, you know what? Let that sink in.
That's a great
All right,
tip,
folks.
though. Thank you.
That brings us to the end of yet another tip of the night. No?
Dom?
Okay.
Is there outro?
Computer's faulty right now.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, then in that case, on behalf of Pete, I just want to say thank you to Dom. Thank you to Tucker. Thank you to Engineering to Traffic for all of the work you do. As I always say, if it wasn't for you, our microphones would not work. I want to thank everyone who called, everyone who texted, everyone who put a comment on the live stream. Without you, there is no us. Thank you to Susan Kearns and Algus Lamb for being our guests this evening. If you missed those conversations, go to civicmedia.us/shows. to catch up on those. And then finally, just saying goodnight. Pete, take us out.
Good night, Wisconsin.